So, have you ever really stopped to think about what's going on with the people you see every single day? What's really going on beneath the surface? Today, we're going to get into this really powerful idea about human connection and, well, the hidden stories that every single one of us carries around.
All right, let's just jump right in. You've probably seen this image before, right? The classic iceberg. And what do we see? Just the very tip. But the real story, the huge, massive part of it, is totally hidden under the water. And wow, is that a perfect metaphor for the question we're asking today? How do we really see each other?
And that metaphor, that image of the iceberg, it's the perfect way to introduce our first big idea, the iceberg of identity.
It's just human nature, isn't it? We all do it. We meet someone for the first time and boom, within seconds, we've made a snap judgment based on what we see. But the thing is, just like that iceberg, most of who a person really is, their stories, their struggles, their triumphs, all of that stuff is completely hidden from view.
Okay, so let's break this down a little more. We can basically split this whole idea into two big categories, the visible and the invisible.
And the difference between these two is, well, it's huge. On one hand, you've got your visible identity. This is the stuff anyone can see in a second, how you dress, your race, things like that. But then you've got the invisible identity, and that's the rest of the iceberg. We're talking about family history, life experiences, mental health, all the deep stuff.
So what happens when we only pay attention to that visible stuff? Well, we fall into a pretty common trap, and that trap is called a stereotype. It's basically an oversimplified, and let's be honest, usually wrong idea about a whole group of people, all based on just that little bit of info we can see on the surface.
So, the big question is, how do we get past that? How do we actually start to see what's below the surface? Well, there's this really cool classroom activity that offers a surprisingly simple way to do it. It's called the index card activity. And the whole point of this is actually pretty straightforward, but the impact is huge. It's all about creating a safe space for people to share something from, beneath the surface, to make a little piece of their invisible identity visible.
So, to get things started, the teacher who created this activity shared two examples from their own life to show how it works. You could share something light, right? A cool fun fact, like how they were a stick boy for a national championship hockey team, or you could go heavy, share something really personal. And the cool thing is, both are totally okay. It's all about sharing a piece of your story.
Now, the rules are super simple, but they are absolutely key. Rule number 1, no names on the card. It's completely anonymous. And rule number 2, and this is the most important part, you only share what you're comfortable with. There is absolutely zero pressure to share something heavy if you're not feeling it.
So, what happens when you give people that kind of safe, anonymous space? Well, you get some incredibly powerful stories. Let's take a look at some of the actual things people shared, things that came from way beneath the surface. Okay, so you get something like this. A simple, fun fact. I mean, you'd never guess that just by looking at someone, right? It's a great little conversation starter. And then, wow, the tone just shifts completely. Just imagine, you could be sitting next to this person in class every single day and have absolutely no idea they're carrying this incredible weight. This right here, this is what we're talking about. A story below the surface. Here's one that feels very of the moment, Someone's got a whole side hustle going on, a creative passion that's actually making them money, and it's something that's totally invisible in a normal school day. This one reveals such a complex reality that so many people live with. For this student, the classroom is the one place they can be their true self in a way that maybe they can't be at home. It just shows you the different worlds people are navigating all at once. And wow, this one is such a powerful reminder to never ever assume you know what's going on in someone's life. We tend to have this negative stereotype about divorce, but for this person and their family, it was a good thing, a source of happiness. It just goes to show you have to listen. You can't just assume. And finally, this one is just devastatingly powerful. It reveals the kind of deep, hidden pain that a person can be carrying around every single day while still just going through the motions. This is the very, very bottom of that iceberg. So after seeing all of these stories, you have to ask yourself, okay, what's the big lesson here? What's the takeaway from all this? Well, the first question they ask after the activity is a really good one for us to think about right now. Just thinking about those few cards we saw, were you surprised by any of them? By what people shared? And if you were surprised even a little bit, that feeling,
That feeling is really important. It tells you something about your own assumptions. It shows you just how often we're all just guessing, judging that entire massive iceberg based on that tiny little tip.
Ultimately, what this whole thing boils down to is something that's both really simple and incredibly deep. If we actually want to get past those snap judgments and really, truly understand the people around us, it comes down to two things: really listening and having genuine empathy.
So that brings us to one final thought. We've spent this whole time talking about what's hidden inside other people, but now let's flip it around and make it personal. Just take a second and think about this. What is one thing that you wish more people knew about you?